The Little Green Frog. Chapter 12. The Wallet. "My frog!" Biddy shouted. She ran to the table, picked up the frog, and put it up to her face. "Where did you come from?" Maria had been watching. "Where would you guess that it came from?" asked Maria. "Jesus sent it back somehow," Biddy answered. "I asked him to do it, and he did." "Well, you might be right at that." Then Maria told Biddy how a poor beggar woman had come to the door selling things that she had found. Maria had seen the frog in the basket and bought it from the woman. "That was Jesus sending Froggy back. He doesn't always do things just like we think he will, but he always gets things done. Don't you believe that Jesus did it, Maria?" Maria thought for a moment. "Yes," she said slowly. "I think I do believe that this little frog really came from him. Remember how hard we all looked and we didn't find him? Now, here he is. I guess Jesus must have sent him, just as you say." Biddy was so happy to have the frog back that she took him right up to her room and put him on a shelf where she could see him all the time. "I guess I won't take him outside any more. I don't want to lose him again," she said. She went to the Browns' farm to tell Jock the good news, then came home for supper. A couple of days later, Biddy didn't feel well when she got up. She had a headache and she felt cold and very tired. She didn't want to eat any breakfast. Aunt Hannah was in such a hurry to go out and take care of some business that she didn't notice that Biddy didn't seem to be well. Aunt Hannah had already eaten her breakfast, so she said goodbye to Biddy and was on her way. Biddy went outside where Jock was waiting to play, but she didn't feel like playing. When Jock threw the ball to her, she couldn't catch it. Her arms seemed too tired to hold it. She was too tired to run. Her knees felt weak and shaky. "You're sick, Biddy. You ought to go home and go to bed." "I think I just have a cold, Jock," Biddy said. "But maybe I will go home. I don't feel like playing. It isn't much fun being outside." So Jock went back to the farm and Biddy went to her house. She walked slowly because her legs were so shaky. She looked down at her feet while she walked. Suddenly, she saw something lying in the road right in front of her feet. It was made of leather, she discovered. It was a wallet. When she opened it, the first thing she noticed was that there was a lot of money in it. Not just $1 bills like she and Jock had earned, but $10 bills, $20 bills, and even a $50 bill. There were a lot of cards and papers in the wallet too, but Biddy did not wait to look at those. She kept walking to her house because she began feeling worse. She carried the wallet in both hands because she didn't want to lose it. Her thoughts were mixed up. She thought of what Amma had told her, that there was a lot of money in England. Maybe was what Amma had meant. But this was someone else's money. He had earned it, just as Biddy and Jock had earned theirs. But she was too tired and sick to think about it. When she got to the house, she went right to her room. She put the wallet in a dresser drawer underneath one of her silk dresses that she had bought from China. Then she lay down on her bed. Soon Maria came to the door. "Biddy, I didn't even hear you come in. I just came to bring some clean sheets. What's the matter?" "I don't know," she said. Her throat was scratchy and dry. "I don't feel good." Maria came and placed her hand on Biddy's forehead. "You have a fever. You'd better get into bed and I'll bring you some hot soup for lunch." "I don't want anything. My head aches and I don't want to stand up." Maria helped Biddy get her pyjamas on and get into bed, then went downstairs to call Aunt Hannah. She had just reached the phone when she heard a knock at the door. It was Jock. "Hello, Maria." "I'm sorry, Jock," Maria interrupted, "but Biddy can't come out. She's sick." "I know. I came to tell you that Amy's got the measles. Maybe that's what's wrong with Biddy. We took care of Amy the other day." "The measles? I suppose that's what it is. Thank you for telling me, Jock. Will you get them too?" "I had them already when I was only little," he said. He said goodbye and Maria called Aunt Hannah. She came home as soon as she could and went upstairs to see Biddy. There was Biddy, her face and arms covered with tiny red spots. Biddy didn't want to talk at all because her throat was sore and she was so sleepy. She slept and slept, dreaming about China and her mother. Sometimes she thought that Maria was Amma. The doctor came. Biddy was half asleep, half awake, and she heard the doctor say that she was having a very hard case of the measles and that she would be sick for at least a week. But Biddy didn't even care. All she wanted to do was stay in bed. Each morning, Aunt Hannah had breakfast alone. She missed Biddy, and sometimes she wished she had been a little nicer to Biddy. She knew Biddy tried to be good. It was just that sometimes she didn't know the right thing to do. One morning, when the house seemed especially quiet, Aunt Hannah called Maria to share the news in the morning paper. "Look at this, Maria. Mr. Digby has lost his wallet." "Mr. Digby? That rich old man from the Grange?" "Yes, he offered a large reward. I'm sure it will be found soon. Everyone will want the money." Aunt Hannah was right. Everyone in the town looked in their yards. They went out on the road looking. Some said they thought they had seen it, but couldn't remember where. Others were sure it had been stolen. Even the police couldn't find it, or find anyone who had it. But Biddy didn't know about the lost wallet or the reward. She never even thought about the folded leather wallet hidden in her dresser drawer. After another week she began to feel better and asked if she could go out and play. "Not yet," said Aunt Hannah. "You're still sick, even though you feel much better. But you can come downstairs and eat lunch if you want to." Biddy was eager to get out of bed, but when she did, she found that her legs had forgotten how to stand up. She sat down on the floor, feeling dizzy. Then she laughed. She felt silly sitting there in a heap. Aunt Hannah laughed too and helped her up. "Why, Biddy," she said with a chuckle, "have you forgotten how to walk?" Aunt Hannah took a clean dress from Biddy's closet for her to put on, then went to the dresser to get a fresh hair ribbon. There she noticed the lovely silk dress that had come from China. "I hope this will be all right in the drawer," she said. "If it gets dirty or creased, it will be ruined." She lifted it out, and there, underneath the dress, lay the wallet. "Biddy, what is this?" she asked as she took it out. "Oh, I found that." "And you didn't tell anyone? You were going to keep it for yourself?" "No, the hospital." "The hospital? You were going to send stolen money to China to build a hospital? Did your parents teach you that it is wrong to steal? I'm ashamed of you, Biddy." Aunt Hannah was very upset. She didn't know what to say or do. "But I just found it." "That doesn't mean it's yours. All those people in town, if they find out this wallet was in my house, I'll never be able to face them. What will I do?" She closed her eyes and thought for a moment. Then she said quickly, "Get dressed, Biddy. You're going to see Mr. Digby. This wallet belongs to him, and you will have to tell him what you have done." "I didn't mean to be naughty, Aunt Hannah." Biddy was beginning to cry. "Don't try to make excuses," Aunt Hannah said sharply. "You hid the wallet and didn't tell anyone because you wanted to send the money to China for that silly hospital. I thought you were trying to be good, but evidently I was wrong." Aunt Hannah went downstairs to call a taxi while Biddy finished dressing. When she was ready to go, she got her frog down from the shelf. If only Amma was here, she thought. But Amma was a long ways away. Then she remembered that Jesus was always beside her, so she talked to him. "Dear Jesus, I didn't know it was wrong. I didn't mean to steal. Please help me be brave. And don't let Mr. Digby send me to prison, or I won't be able to make any more money for the hospital." "Bridget, the taxi is here," called Aunt Hannah. "Come down at once." Biddy's legs were still shaky, but she didn't know if it was because she was sick or because she was afraid. Aunt Hannah sat very straight in the back seat of the taxi, holding the wallet tightly. Biddy held the frog in her lap and wished that she had never come to England.